Diplomats Life is a show about one of the most versatile and important professions in the modern age of political conflicts and economic crisis. In this program, you will meet people who build bridges between countries and bring nations closer together. The ambassador Michael Gifford will share his love for skiing, talk about Elizabeth II and English law in the program Diplomats Life. The trend towards privatization, this is what is now taking place widely in Kazakhstan. It is being implemented along the lines of the UK. This is the first thing that came to mind.
There are a lot of differences for historical reasons. Kazakhstan is an enormous country, as big as the whole of Western Europe, with not many people in it. England is the opposite. It's a very small country with a huge number of people in it.
First, the presence of British business in Kazakhstan is very strong. Also, the architecture of the city was developed by British architects. It is considered that London has good architecture. Many British people work in the field of architecture. Well, there is also a strong cultural influence of Great Britain, especially in theater and music. Britain historically influences our region culturally. We are all fans of rock bands that originated in Britain. U2, Oasis, Queen, and the rest are the legacy that lives with us and has become part of our culture, which transforms into something new.
We both have a desire to share our cultural heritages. That Kazakhstan has a cultural heritage which creates opportunities for touristic development in exactly the same way as people come to the UK to see the place where William Shakespeare lived, or to see the place where, the Queen of England lived.
Well, welcome to the British Embassy and welcome to Great Britain. The links between the UK and Kazakhstan, I think it's a young relationship. I think is the honest answer. As with a lot of other European countries and Kazakhstan, we don't have a very long historical relationship with Kazakhstan, which in some ways is a good thing, because we haven't got that history where perhaps there were controversial things in our past. But what I see now is a very vibrant and a very strong set of links between our two peoples. One of the things that we do here is to register marriages in the British Embassy, where one of the partners is British, and we have notices in our reception about forthcoming marriages for a period of 2 or 3 weeks. So every time I come into the office, since I've been working here in Kazakhstan, I always see if there's a marriage notice there, and often there are 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4 a month, something like that. And those are people who I've met the love of their life perhaps here in Kazakhstan, and it's a very, very nice image for me of very, very deep and personal links between the two countries. We recently had, again through the British Council, a big education event here in Kazakhstan, where we had 24 schools and universities promoting their services. So I used that as an occasion to say something about the importance of educational links between us. So it varies. I think sometimes they've been a bit business focused recently, the video blogs, but I hope people seem to like them, and I hope they're entertaining and useful.
Kaylukun Dasta, Uli Britannia'da bilim alınız keledeme, benim üçüncü bloguma hoş geldiniz der.
For the first one, I was very pleased with the response to that, and indeed I had some conversations with people in supermarkets and shopping malls who said, "Ah, yes, you're the British ambassador. I've seen your video blog," which was a nice surprise.
Kaylukun Dasta, mening at Mike Gifford. Улыбританьянем Казахстандага Елшасимин. Привет, здравствуйте всем. Я Mike Gifford, я посол Великобритании в Астане. Hi, I'm Mike Gifford. I'm the British Ambassador here in Kazakhstan, and I'm going to continue the practice of talking to you from time to time through this video blog. Kazakhstan is the first country I've worked in where I've done video blogs. The subject of them is generally agreed in discussion with colleagues here in the embassy. The first one I did was really an introductory one, and introduced myself as a new ambassador here to say something about how I wanted to learn about Kazakhstan's culture and literature and so on, which I've certainly tried to do, and also just to be a way of communicating with a wider audience. The second one I did in April had a focus on legal services. We had two big legal services conferences, one in Astana, one in Almaty, where we had about 40 British legal companies, solicitors and barristers, who were here promoting their services, and we had a good dialogue with the Kazakhstan government on legal issues. So thank you very much for watching this video blog. I look forward to your suggestions for future editions. Спасибо за просмотр. До новых встреч. Thank you very much and goodbye. We're active across a wide range of different fields. I think the one area that most people tend to focus on is the business relationship, and that's very important to us. Kazakhstan for the UK is a £2.3 billion market. We sold that amount of goods and services last year. And there are over at least 500 British companies who are registered and are active in Kazakhstan. So the heart of that part of the relationship is oil and gas, and we've had a lot of British companies who have supplied various goods and services for the oil industry in Kazakhstan over the years. We're also active in other sectors such as agriculture, mining, education, and the creative sector as well. The creative industries are also important for us. So it's quite a broad relationship. And one of the most interesting things for me since I've arrived in Kazakhstan is to see the work of the Astana International Financial Centre, the AIFC, which of course is a Kazakh institution, not a British one. But as I think you know, one of the interesting things about AIFC is that the Kazakhstan authorities have chosen English law as the operating model, if you like, or the context for its work. And we're very supportive of that. This was a Kazakhstan sovereign decision. We didn't come to the Kazakhstan government and say you must have English law in the AIFC, but we're very happy they did. And we've been very active in the British Embassy over the past couple of years to support the development of AIFC. The British Council's job is to create educational, cultural and scientific links between the UK and other countries, and I think this is the creative sector in the UK is very, very important to our economy. It is one of the most, certainly in London where I live, but also I think throughout the UK, it's one of the most vibrant areas of the British economy. If you watch almost any Hollywood movie these days, you'll probably find the special effects are actually done in the UK. I'm here today supporting a project which is being co-funded by the British government about protecting the information space in Central Asia. What that means is helping to train journalists and to raise awareness about the problem of fake news and manipulation of the media in the modern world. We see this everywhere. It's not just done by individuals or institutions, it's also increasingly being done by governments who for their own reasons want to spread fake news around the world. And of course with modern technology it's even easier these days to manipulate not just text but also photographs, audio and video. So I'm very happy that we're working with our project partners here in Kazakhstan, also more widely in Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan to tackle this really important problem. It's something that the British government cares very deeply about, and I'm delighted that we're able to put some project funding into this important area here with our Central Asian partners.
people studying in Britain from Kazakhstan is about 5,000. That's across the whole of the range of different courses. Something like 9,500 students or applicants take the IELTS English language program here in Kazakhstan each year. And we're seeing increasing numbers of visa applications for educational purposes. I mean, the numbers went up. It's now over 3,000 educational visas a year that we issue just in Kazakhstan. So I think the numbers are increasing, but it's also possible for Kazakhstan citizens to get access to British education here in Kazakhstan, and there are joint degree programs. There's a degree program between the Kazakh British Technical University in Almaty and the London School of Economics. And there are plans amongst some group of Kazakh investors to try to bring a British campus here in Kazakhstan to establish an on-the-ground presence. We have an important conference on the creative industries run by the British Council here in Astana. That is the Creative Central Asia Conference. And the aim of that is to create links between creative leaders throughout Central Asia with the UK partners. This was something that the British Council did last year in Almaty, so it's a repeat of that. The level of English language knowledge here in Kazakhstan, I think, is fantastic. I think it's very much part of what I see as the Kazakhstan government's attempts to modernise the economy, to develop the economy with this fantastic ambition of becoming among the top 30 economies in the world by 2050. I've been to Almaty several times. I've also been to Atyrau many times. We have a small trade office there which is focused on the oil and gas industry. Our children came out to Kazakhstan this year, and I took some time off to take them around to the Almaty region to see the lakes and the mountains, and had a really nice time. I think one of the challenges for anyone living here in Kazakhstan is just the size of the country. It takes a long time to get anywhere, but it's really worthwhile. And I think the diversity of the different environments you have here, the steppe, obviously, the mountains, and the lakes in the south and southeast, I think it's a beautiful country in many ways. So I'm looking forward to doing more of that exploring. In the UK, we understand about cold weather. I've been asked by a lot of friends here, how are you coping with the cold weather, as if I've come from the Seychelles or the Bahamas or somewhere. It is actually, we understood obviously before we came here that Kazakhstan winters are very severe. But actually, I think if you prepare and if you're sensible when you go out, I don't really see that as a great problem. We do have cold weather in the winter in UK as well, not quite as severe as here in Kazakhstan. We just enjoy living here and experiencing